all intelligence says Al-Qaeda is being funded by drug trafficking. And our drug laws are driving the prices of drugs up. Are the drug laws working in favor of Al-Qaeda? Stand by, brought together two top experts on drugs and drug trafficking. Judge Jim Gray, who is a presiding judge in the Superior Court in California. He's a speaker for LEAP, that's Law Enforcement Against Prohibition. And also online with us is Celerino Castillo, an ex-colleague of mine at the Drug Enforcement Administration. Castillo, online with us also, has a book, Powder Burns. Sully, by the way, he's the guy who tried to lock up Ali North when he was stationed in Honduras for the Drug Enforcement Administration. The question I want to throw up to both of you gentlemen is, I don't know, and we'll get into that too, I suppose. I don't know that I agree 100%, or I haven't agreed 100% with that all drugs should be legalized, because I've got a lot of reasons not to believe in that. But what's happened now that is making me listen to LEAP more than ever is that we've had expert after expert talk about Al-Qaeda being supported now by drug trafficking. Throw this topic out to both Sully or you, Judge Jim Gray. By the way, let me just hear your voice. I'm blabbing away as usual. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, and it is nice to be with you. Been looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. Well, let's start with you, Judge. What's your feelings about where our nation is going, what the implications of drug trafficking are, and
Well, Mike, it is unusual for a sitting judge to hold a press conference, but I'm so deeply concerned about the direction of our country in so many ways, certainly including this so-called war on drugs, that I did that, really sorry to say, based upon my experience as a federal prosecutor in the United States Attorney's Office in Los Angeles. I was a Navy JAG criminal defense attorney. I've been a trial judge now since 1983, that our country simply is going in the wrong direction. And with regard to this drug prohibition program that we have, we're living in prohibitionary times today. It used to be alcohol prohibition. That didn't work. Now we're living in drug prohibition. That literally, victory in the war on drugs today is defined as slowing down the pace of defeat. It is not only failing, it is not only failed, but it's hopeless. And the reason it's hopeless is because of the money. There is so much money to be made by people selling small amounts of drugs for large amounts of money that we will never stop it. Absolutely never, because as long as the demand is here, the demand will be met. And then you ask yourself, how much corruption can you buy for $1 million in cash on the border or our border guards? And the answer is quite a bit. And then if you get into large-scale transactions, a ton of cocaine, you're talking tens of millions of dollars that you have at your disposal in cash to corrupt people. So that's the problem that we're facing. And if it comes down to it, we can't even keep these dangerous drugs out of our prisons, for heaven's sake. How do you expect to keep them off the streets of New York or any other town and city in our country? Then you're talking about the money, because truly the whole thing is about money. And who is winning with regard to this matter? One group of people that are winning, like you exactly say, is the terrorists of the world. You know something? Terrorism is funded by drug money. In fact, I call drug prohibition the golden goose of terrorism. And if we truly cared about fighting terrorism, the most critical thing we could do to counteract terrorism would be to take away its funding. And the money primarily comes from drug prohibition. That's what we need to focus on.
Well, you got a couple of complications that we run into that are powerful. One of the most powerful lobbies for drug prohibition at this particular time is the Partnership for a Drug-Free America. And I don't know whether you've even considered that.
Oh, sure.
But we documented on this show some time ago that when Mario Cuomo, the ex-governor of the state of New York, was co-director of the partnership, they funded $2 billion for Say No to Drug advertising. $2 billion. Of course, a DEA agent stationed in South America called me because he too needs a psychiatrist about as much as I do, and said, "Do you know, Mike, that if they just gave us the $2 billion, we could buy every coca leaf in South America?"